Shalom, it's following Yahshua. Welcome again to the Rock. I've been asked this question many times. Following Yahshua, can you do a video showing how you harvest your Swiss chard seeds? Or this also apply for beets. Beets grow the same way, and they seed the same way. In fact, chard and beets are actually from the same family. Anyways, so this is my seed chard right here. This chard I'm specifically having just for the seed. Yes, we eat some of the greens off of it, but I have a whole chard garden growing in the other side of another one of my other gardens. But this garden right here is specifically for seed. So if you can see, there's a lot of seed. That's what seed chard looks like. Let's go into seed. You see all those white, all those green looking, looks like little bulbs or little knots. That's it going to seed. Let's walk in here real quick so I can get a closer picture. And there you go. Each one of these is going to be a seed. Now, if you notice that the ground is extremely dry, excuse me, the reason why I do not water this, I think I water it once every 2 weeks maybe, is because I want the plant to pass the information to the seeds on how to survive. These are my 3rd generation chard. I've raised them and harvested my own seeds here for 3 years. And every year I do this, and every year they become more resilient. They'll still produce, and the seeds will still produce, even though, they may not look as healthy. They will still produce even when there's no water. These have not been watered for over, I'd say about 2 weeks. These have not been watered for over 2 weeks. We had a light sprinkle about a week ago, but we've had 90 plus temperatures, 90 plus degree temperature, here for consecutive days, and they are still producing. They're still producing. So that's what the seeds look like right here. And these are almost actually ready to be harvested. When they turn completely brown, they are ready to be harvested. Let me see if I can find some. No, I don't have any. Actually, I think I do over here. Also, I'll show you some beets that are ready to be harvested. But also another reason why I don't water them, I don't like watering them when I'm letting them go to seed, is because sometimes when they get wet, the seeds do, on the stalks. And if you notice that the Swiss chard seeds, they grow on the stalk. There's a stalk right here. You can see the seeds. All those right there. So you get the focus. Those are seeds. Look how tall this stalk is. So that's a Swiss chard stalk. But if you water them, sometimes when they are in seed, they'll start sprouting. And I don't want my seeds to start sprouting because I want to harvest these seeds. Now, some of them are just going to sow into the ground. They'll come back next year. Hallelujah. But for the majority of these, I want to bag them. So if you were just going to let these go to seed and then grow back the next year, you could do that. You could leave them just like this. Don't do anything. Let them turn brown. Let them fall. And if you have a designated area to grow a particular thing, like I do have a garden that's specifically designated for Swiss chard. So my green beans coming in. They're looking great. It's looking great. Got some climbers. But if you have a garden specifically designated for chard, it's very easy just to let it go to seed, leave it there, it'll grow back every year. All right, let me show you the beets. Here's some more mustard seeds that I have to harvest. Well, I've harvested, I have to get the seeds out of the pods. How about some garlic bulbils? You see them in there? So my garlic garden, in each one of these, you see one right there, there. I actually plant these. And they say they don't grow true. I have not experienced that. They said they won't grow in the cloves, they won't grow true to the parent garlic. I have not experienced that. Mine are growing true. So I guess there may be a difference there. And right here we have more seeds, different kinds of seeds. I have each one labeled. In this bucket there's a certain type of seed. In that bucket there's a certain kind of seed. This is the sisters harvested all of our mint and dehydrated it. So these are what's left in the stalks after dehydration. They're dehydrating all of our mint. They cut all of our mint back, and we have so much mint it's not even funny dehydrated. Here's more seeds that I have to harvest. But here are beet seeds. Now here's the beets. You can see the dehydrated beet. And I plant all the Swiss chard and all the beets I planted last fall. And they made it through the fall. They made it through the winter. And they're doing fine. They're doing fine. Let me show you some of the mint that they got. We got these laundry bags from the Dollar Tree. They have the big ones and the small ones. Well, here's the big one. You know, $1 for a bag, and we just hang it. And all this in here is mint, dehydrating. And in fact, it's almost ready. We've had spearmint, chocolate mint, peppermint, and sweet mint, all dehydrating. She dehydrated oregano and lavender, and oregano. What else did she dehydrate? Stinging nettle. What do we have up there? We have lavender and thyme. What's the other thing we have? Rosemary. There you go. Thank you. Rosemary. They dehydrated all that. But back to the point of this video. So here's a beet that sat all winter, made it the whole winter, and this whole thing is filled with beets and beet seeds that I have to harvest. And you can see the seeds. Now sometimes the seeds won't completely be ready. Some of these are not completely ready. You want your seed to look more, here we go, here's a good example. You want your seed to look more, I need the light. No, like that. That I'll be able to plant and get something from. Some of the seeds, when they're so tiny and so small, they'll like crumble on your fingers. Some of them, like those, are really good seed. So that's a really good pile of seed right there. Some of these, you can see some of them right here. They're like, they'll basically will crumble. Watch, let me see if I can. Oh no, I guess some of them are pretty good. They're smaller seeds, but if they crumble on your finger, they're not good seeds. Swiss chard looks a lot like, so here's Swiss chard seed. Swiss chard seed looks just like the beet seed. So you literally harvest them the same way. What I do is I'll just grab this stalk, run my hand down it, collect all the seeds in my hand, and keep it pushing. So you can see the beet. Let me see if I can pull this thing out. So you can see how the beets grow. It'll send a massive stalk, or for beets, several stalks will grow from the beet. I'm sorry, I'm sweating everywhere now. Several stalks will grow from the beet. And then that's what it'll form little tiny flowers, and then those flowers will form seeds. It's the same thing with Swiss chard. Same thing. So harvest seeds. There's an extreme importance on harvesting your own seed, especially with the times that we have. And you're growing, your seed is going to be native to your area. So it'll know how to grow in your soil. It'll know what nutrients it needs. It's just better to harvest your own seed than rely on always going to the store and buying your own seed. There's just an importance. I see it as an extreme importance in seed. I taught many lessons on seed from a spiritual or from a family sense, from a biblical sense. I also believe it's very important for us to harvest our own seeds. Hallelujah. Anyways, let me just show you some of my seed starts. I got more peppers, like I said. More peppers. I got peppers coming up in there. I didn't know I planted so many. More peppers. We have a random tomato plant. This is my seed start area. So I'll be taking a shovel to this. I'll separate each one of these plants and plant them separately. We got squashes coming in. More. And I have no idea what this is, but I planted it. You see a little squash. That's a volunteer squash right there. from a plant that fell and took root. So, harvest your own seed. Everything that I grow right now, I think almost 90% of the stuff that I'm growing right now is from my own seed. So there's a valuable importance in planting your own seeds, harvesting your own seeds, and eating food from your own seed. I hope this video helps for those. If you have any more questions, and if you have a different way that you harvest your beets or harvest your Swiss chard, let it be known so that hopefully it may help somebody else. For those that have asked about this question, I hope this is helpful. I hope this helps you see what it's going to look like when it's ready to be harvested, when you're ready to harvest the seed from it. Bless you and shalom.